build breakdown of 1.7 2.1 Imperial City update. I am running a dual-wield build that I've created slowly since launch of this game. The first ability that I'm using on bar 1 is Killer's Blade as a finisher as well as a healing source. The second ability is Surprise Attack for the damage output of the ability as well as the armor reduction of my target. The third ability is Blood Craze, which puts a dot on my target as well as a slight heal over time as long as the dot is on my target. Ambush is my gap closer on this bar. It is one of the best abilities that you could possibly use from stealth as a Nightblade. If you are Stamina Nightblade, I would suggest using it. The last ability on my bar is Dark Cloak. It is my oh shit, get out of this AoE and take this dot off of me button. It lasts for 2.9 seconds, almost 3 seconds, and it also removes 4 dots on you, and it is very strong. My ultimate for this is Devouring Swarm as a healing source, because as a Stamina Nightblade, you don't have many of them. The second bar, I have Mass Hysteria for the fear, as well as pretty much everything else that comes with it, and it gets my target from blocking. It stops him from blocking, and it's really, really overpowered. My second ability on this bar is Flying Blade. It's very, very useful now that it actually gives the Major Brutality buff to you in 1.7. Before I was using it mainly for the move speed debuff on the target, but now that it does the Major Brutality buff, it's just even better. Third ability is Evil Hunter, which the dot does a very good amount of damage to all targets now, as well as regen stamina every time it procs. And it also is nice to have that weapon critical while you're on this bar. Fourth ability is Elusive Mist from the Vampire Tree. It's very helpful to reduce the damage that you take from AoEs, as well as just getting people to untarget you for a short period of time. The move speed is also very helpful to get out of sticky situations. The last ability is Resolving Vigor, which I just picked up at the beginning of 1.7 now that they moved it from the last ability to, I think, the second ability. Hopefully this heal actually is really good. I'm not sure. I really haven't been able to use it that much. And my ultimate on this bar is Soul Tether for just a tiny bit of AoE. Unfortunately, I build myself for single target attacks, but every so often AoEs can be helpful. I also have all of the passives in all of my class trees, as well as all the passives in dual wield, and I'm also running 5 pieces of medium armor, 2 pieces of heavy armor. Those sets that I'm running are 2 pieces of the air for the stamina recovery from the helm and the shoulders. I'm using the Of the Fire set on the chest and legs for the weapon damage. And then the remaining pieces of my armor and my weapons, all 4 of them, are Hunting's Rage for the weapon critical and the weapon damage. My necklace and rings are of the Shadow Walker set for the weapon damage and the maximum stamina. The enchants are stamina cost reduction as well as weapon damage. I am using disease damage enchants on 2 of the 4 swords, as well as the magic damage stamina recovery on the other 2. It turns out to be a fairly good combination for the weapon enchants. My attributes are currently 25 and 38, and my maximum magicka, health, and stamina is that right there. My champion trees, for the most part, I am trying to reduce stamina cost in the shadow tree. with stamina cost in Warlord, as well as focusing on stam recovery in the Lover tree. I also have a couple points to reduce the cost of stamina break freeze and reduce the duration of CC effects on me. But for the most part, I'm focusing on stamina recovery. Then in the warrior tree, I'm focusing more on magic reduction costs, like cost of magic damage taken, as well as disease and poisons. So that's what the spell resistance is in the steed, as well as in the lady. In the mage trees, all my points are currently in the ritual sub-tree, in increasing my damage from weapon criticals, increasing the amount of armor that my physical attacks ignore, as well as increasing my physical damage. I have no points in the Atronach or the Apprentice.